Crash. Eh? The Crash Bandicoot? Yo? More like... Oh, the crash yesterday. Right. Where was the crash? Where crash? Well, let's were you going 37? I was going about 69 miles per hour. No. Yeah, so I got a story for stream. Here we go. Actually, let's put the music back on for a second. I was going to tell the story before we go like the full thing. Oh my God, Elon Musk is at a Trump rally. That's crazy. Anyways, so I had a bit of an incident yesterday. Let's start off with how the day started. Started pretty well. I woke up early because I had an interview to get to. Where it was a really good interview. I got on my bike. I rode on over to the mall. Had an interview with Hot Dog on a Stick. And while I was waiting, they offered me one of their lemonades, and I got the cherry lemonade, and it was fire, dude. It was fire. It was really good. And so I drank while we were waiting. I had the interview, and I got the job. I got the job. My favorite quote of all time now is, "If you weren't completely insane, I was just gonna hire you." Or it was like, I was just gonna hire this guy. So I guess I'm not entirely insane. Just don't let him see what I'm wearing right now. But he said, if this guy isn't completely insane, I'm just gonna hire him, because he wanted just another adult around to do the stuff, to be the store guy. I'm the Glizzy Goblin, dude. I'm the Glizzy Lord. I'm the Glizzler. My first day is gonna be next week, he says. I did all my onboarding, and that was simple. It actually happened really fast. It was a really easy onboarding process, but we had a really good conversation, actually. Like, we were laughing at things that each other were saying. They have corn dogs? No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they don't, but I'll double check for you. But he goes, dude, we're a hot dog stand. We got corn dogs, we got hot dogs. It's not that, it's just that simple. And he was referring to like how busy it is on like weekdays. Apparently it is. Are you serious? No. He's like, we're a hot dog stand, dude. It's not rocket science. And apparently I'll be by myself, like in the mornings. Like, he's gonna teach me how to open up, and then I'm gonna open up. It'll be in like a 9 to 5. Until someone else gets there, because he's like, we just don't need 2 people during the week. And on weekends you can consider me MIA, because I'll most likely be going from one place of work to the other, right? So I'll be going, like, I finish my shift at Huckleberries in the morning, and then I'll just go, like, depending on how much time I have in between, I'll probably go see a movie. Like, if I left Huckleberries at like 12:30, and I got to the mall at like 1:15, and I start at 4:30, I can comfortably watch a 2-hour movie, right? That could be cool. Working on the mall is gonna be fun. That's gonna be a good time. But yeah, so I got the job. I start next week, and I told my boss about it today. I also told her about what I'm gonna say now, which is I got hit by a fucking car. I was on my way to a Chase bank because I have this thing that I can go set up a total checking account with them, and then within 90 days, if I do direct deposits from like work, if I do direct deposits into that amounting to $500 or more, they'll just give me like $300 as a sign-on bonus. So I was on my way to do that, and I was in a part of town that I don't think I've ever been to at least by myself. I don't think I've ever been there by myself. I might have been there a couple times in the car with dad or mom or both going somewhere, but I didn't recognize where I was. I didn't know where I was. So I was being extra cautious, right? Guess it didn't matter. I want to say too that my superstitious brain is like, man, I willed this into existence. Because as I was getting on my bike leaving the interview, I said, man, I just got this sweet gig. Imagine if something happened to my bike. I said that shit out loud. So yeah, I'm at this not an intersection, but it's an exit and entrance way into like a little plaza that has a UPS store. And I'm there, and I'm going, and I start stopping because there's cars going in and out. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop. I came to a full stop, right? My bike accelerates fast, like it goes like 0 to 5 pretty quickly, right? So it goes vroom. So I come to a full stop. The guy in front of me comes to a full stop, and he stopped. So I'm assuming, like, he stopped. He saw a car go by, and I assumed he saw me because I wasn't looking at who was in the driver's seat. Maybe that's gonna be something I do now, by the way. I'm looking at like front of his car and like the direction I'm going. So I start to go, and then he starts to go, and then he kind of rams into me. I'm starting to fall, and I'm like, split second thinking, I'm getting in a crash right now. I need to hop off this motherfucking bike. So I do my best to eject myself, and then the plan was to get as far away from the bike and the car as possible, because I wasn't sure whether or not he understood or even saw that he was hitting someone yet. So I was like, okay, boom. And then the plan was to, while I was on my back, use my hands to kind of do that. And that was the plan. But then I looked over and I saw that he was already getting out of his car. My bike is kind of under his tire. It had fallen on my ankle and on me. And I landed on my hand. So right now my thumb is, this whole area is sore. And some up here and my ankle, but it's just sore. I'm trying to stand up now that I see. I'm trying to get up, but the handlebars of the bike somehow get not only caught but tangled in my belt. So I try and get up, and then I get pulled back down by the bike. I'm like, that's weird. What the fuck is happening with this? And he's getting down, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I was totally looking the other way. And I always thought that I was going to be a ball of pure anger and rage if something like that ever happened to me. But the most angry I got, and I wouldn't even say that I was angry at all. I was more like, okay, I'm alive. The angriest I got was me saying, hey, did you not see me? In kind of that tone. And he's like, no, dude, I'm so sorry. I was looking left, and then I just went. And so by that he means he was looking left while he was turning right. And I kind of understand that. Actually, I don't, because like you look right, you're looking for cars to come over, and then you're like, okay, now I'm going to look. We're talking about it right now. I'm looking, or he's looking the complete opposite way of where he's going. So like, you look both ways, and then you know that you can go, and then you start looking the way. So he wasn't even looking at me at all. He didn't see me at all. But he was, he was a really nice guy. He seemed really remorseful. He did everything he could to help. I didn't really know what to do in this situation other than like insurance exchange, but I wasn't thinking clearly, and I was like, if my motor runs, I'm just gonna be like, hey, we're good, I'm going. Obviously that was the split second thing. I was like, that was a thought that happened for less than a second. I was like, oh, no, I need to get this guy's information, and then I realized that the motor wasn't working. Folks was playing a little crazy. Yeah, dude, just go. Who cares? You're only gonna lose like $100. It's fine. He's helping me up. He's making sure that my bike and me, he's making sure that I'm okay. I understand that I'm alive, so my thinking is just on what the situation with my bike. Scary getting stuck like that. It was scary, but I don't know if the feelings at all that I felt were being scared. Does that make sense? It was obviously a scary situation, but as soon as I knew that everybody around me had stopped and were getting out of their cars to come see me, I was like, okay, I can just kind of breathe for a second. And I'm not going to try and like get up. So he's helping me up, and we're thinking, and other people were coming and being like, oh my God, are you alright? Are you okay? It's like, yeah, I'm fine. And I was laughing on the floor. I was laughing. I didn't know what else to do. My body's reaction was just, yeah, that is the main thing. But my weird brain goes to, okay, I know I am fine. So I'm focused on my $1,000 bike needing to be repaired or not. And so that's just kind of how my brain works. I'm never first in my own mind. I'm so humble. It's selfless. No, but we were talking and getting each other's information. Like, I took pictures of his stuff and he took pictures of mine, blah blah blah. He's like, oh, let me help you with the chain. I was like, I'm gonna test it real quick to see if it pedals, because I'm trying to throttle, but it just wasn't. It just broke. And I've had bikes where I'm pedaling and then I hear a clink, and it's still going, but it sounds crunchy, and I'm like, wow, that sounds. And that is what happened when I got my bike, trying to pedal it just to test. And I was a good like maybe 7-10 miles. Any serious injuries? No, just my hands. My this is right here is sore. Siri, I didn't say Siri. No, fuck off. My hands are sore, or just the arm and hand that I landed on are fine, or what's like feeling it, and the back tire landed on my not just the like the whole back landed on my ankle, but not really hard. Like I can walk. I'm limping a little bit, but I can walk. And he's helping me. He's being really helpful. Saying it was all a lot. It's like, yeah, here's my number. He texted me his name in the number, so we both had each other's. And then I called my mom, and obviously the first thing I said was, hey, I need you to understand, I'm fine, but I got hit. So I'm talking to her, and like 2 or 3 people, or 3 people total, 2 people in cars came up to me, we're like, hey, are you good? Do you need a ride? Like all that. And I'm like, no, it's okay. I've got a ride coming. Thank you, though. I appreciate the concern. No, plus one experience. I did. I got some experience in light armor, so that's. And then there was this homeless guy on the other side of the street that I would have totally given some cash to if I had, because he was super concerned, and he was making sure I was okay and all that, and we were talking, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just listen to music while I wait, and he's like, okay, and so then I'm just there, and I'm like, and I just start crying, and it was half because of what happened, and half because people, not everybody's evil. There really truly is good in this world, and not everybody is out to get you. And there are people that do care about strangers, and that kind of is what made me cry. But it was a whole bunch of things: the situation, the nice people, not knowing what's going to go on with the bike, all that. Because I knew I was safe and fine, and I'm like, I'm just gonna cry. Yeah, it's both, but like this was a good, I don't know if I want to say good experience, but it was something that like everybody goes through, man. It could have been a hit and run, but it was kind of a crowded street, and I think I wouldn't have been surprised if people started to sense that he was gonna like try and go and then like block him. However, he was really nice. He was like, I could feel it, that he was just like, oh my god, I cannot fucking believe I just did this. Bro said it was just, I mean, it kind of was. I barely got scratched. I did everything I could to kind of like land on my back, because that's where my backpack was. So I was like, I'm gonna get as much weight of my fall onto my backpack. And I hit my head. And thank the gods I was wearing a fucking helmet, because I did hit my head. It was kind of a big thud. 'Tis but a flesh wound. 'Tis but a scratch. But yeah, so I got he went off. I'm like, okay, I'll call you later. And I was gonna, but he called me first. I was waiting for my dad. We went home. Hugs all around, everything. And then he called later. He called around, I can tell. This happened like afternoon-ish. This all happened before 1. Or it happened just after 1. It was before 2, I know that. And he called yesterday. Tell me the time. 6:13. He called at 6:13, and I got on speakerphone because I was like, I don't know what to say or what to do, so I'm like, I'm just gonna get my dad on the speaker so that we can all three of us talk. So we did, and we were like going back and forth, and we were like, oh, the insurance, oh, just like, you know. And so he ended up saying, I'm just gonna pay for the repairs and whatever medical bills need to be paid. And so he came over today while I was at work, dropped off $1,000 in cash, and it's over. I get a new bike. It's like nothing ever happened. So yeah, that's how I got in my first car accident, or I guess bike crash. I don't know what it is, both. So new bike is on its way. Apparently he forced my dad to make sure that all the money was there, and that this was a genuine, remorseful, happy to help person. And it could have been so much worse. It could have been a hit and run. It could have been I'm actually not going to pay you. So many different things could happen. This was the best timeline outcome. Okay. Fair play, you don't get many people like that to give details after incident. Yeah. Utter wankers. Yeah, I was fully expecting it. I was fully expecting, like, he was like, oh, let me get in my car and get out of the way of these people, right? And I was like, okay, this is it. I was fully expecting him to drive off, but he didn't. He didn't. He paid out of his own pocket, which was smart for him because now he doesn't get a ding on his insurance, which is kind of what we were trying to be like, I don't want that for you, and I don't think you want that for you. So it would have been hard though, right? Because I wouldn't have been able to get my phone out in time to like snap a picture of the license plate or anything like that. But if it did go south, I was fully prepared to take this guy to court. And I'm saying this guy because he's not a motherfucker. He's just a dude being a guy living his life. And a mistake happened. He made a mistake. It was his fault. And he knows that, and I know that, and we all know that, and it's fine. It's fine now. Everything's been resolved. So, claps to that guy. And, you know, dude. You just know. But yeah, there's my story. I heard it hurt. You know? You heckin' know, dude. Convertible or something? No, it was kind of a shitty car. It was a very I would call it a humble car. It was it was not new. I'll tell you that. And that's not a dig at him. I'm just like the car matched the personality, right? Just humble.